Morning, everyone. Thank you again for joining me so early as we meet most weekday mornings between 5:30 and 6:30, as well as on Saturdays between the same times, to consider a portion of the biblical record or other related texts and histories. But we focus primarily on the Bible and the books and letters within it because they tell us the history of the God Jah and the history of humanity in relation to that God, as well as the things that he did and taught about the one who would come to save us from the fall of Adam and Eve. We believe the one who came to save us was Jesus Christ. And we read through these letters and documents to get a better understanding of the things he did and taught, as well as what others associated with the God Jah did and taught. So we're in the letter of 1 John. There are 3 letters that John wrote that are near the end of the New Testament, in addition to his gospel or great message history. So we're in 1 John chapter 2, and today we're going to be reading verses 26 through 29. I'll go ahead and start reading. At times I'll break and make an application. Sometimes I'll read right through, and then we'll talk about it when I'm done. So let's start with verse 26. After the show, I will also give an update about a live stream I'm going to do later today, near the evening, and our open session Sunday show. So, good morning, everyone. Let's get to the text. 1 John 2:26. I wrote these things to you on account of those who are trying to deceive you. So the whole purpose he's writing these things is because people during the first century were trying to deceive the Christians. Verse 27, but you, the chosen condition, remember those words, the chosen condition which you received from him is with you. You have nothing missing so that someone should teach you, except as the chosen condition from him is teaching you about all things. And it is true. It does not lie, just as you were taught. So you notice here that it states that those with the chosen condition that we received from Christ teaches us all things. And we don't need anyone to tell us anything, right? Yet I get questions all the time from people who've been studying the Bible for decades. The same questions they were asking a decade ago, as if they never asked the question, or certainly never received an answer that they could accept. So you have a lot of people who are just stymied in their existence. They don't do anything. They keep asking the same questions over and over again. They'll spend more time looking up a variant reading in a verse that doesn't make any real difference versus spending that same time praising Jah. So we're not going to be able to find people who are always going to be responsive to the message in ways where they hear it, they get it, and they move forward to proclaim it and live it. It's not something that's common. It can happen, and the more you can develop people around you like that, well, the better your Christian gathering will be. But you have that condition, and so you already know the things that are taught in connection with Jesus. And you notice that the verse says that the chosen condition is teaching you. See, so sometimes things in the Bible that are not persons are personalized, as if they can actually do things like teach and not lie. So we need to be aware of that. At times this comes up with respect to the Holy Spirit. Whether it's a real person or not isn't the issue I'm making here. It's the question, the issue that I'm pointing out relative to the Holy Spirit at times when it comes up is that these personalizations of things in the Bible can often be a little bit confusing unless you understand the way the Bible writers talk. Okay, verse 28. Even now, children, you must remain with him in order that if he should ever be made manifest, we may have confidence and not be afraid or embarrassed, ashamed, because of him during his presence. How afraid and embarrassed do you think the people who are running around acting like goats, literally? I mean, they're promoting the Baphomet, and just everywhere you look, there seems to be another goat reference. I mean, all the things that they can do to put themselves in opposition to the Christ, right? Because they know that the Bible teaches that Jesus will separate sheep from goats. So they just pick the goats as their way of showing they don't believe in him at all. But they do so in such a blasphemous, offensive way. When he shows up, and when the heavens rip apart, and the sign of the Son of Man is seen, how do you think all those people who are promoting goat worship in the Baphomet are going to feel? I would imagine they're going to either kill themselves or be totally ashamed to the point where they would want to. Fortunately, they're not going to get that chance because judgment will be given to them. But just like Jesus said, right, those who abuse children, you might as well throw yourself into the ocean with a giant stone around your neck. And most of these goat worshipers are child abusers. All these pedos in Hollywood, the hotbed of goat worship promotion, a sick and disgusting place, filled with people who pop their rear ends every day, abuse their anal opening as if it's a sex organ, and it's just disgusting and sick in every way. And they end up killing themselves and abusing other people all the way to their death. So stay as far away from those people. You see a goat, you see a one-eye symbol, you see pyramids in people's clothing and house, and let them have it. Just say, hey, nice stuff. You keep all that. You keep that and get away, okay? You don't want to be anywhere near those kinds of people, especially when he arrives. So we can't always choose who we're going to be around and at what times, but never prefer the company of goat worshipers, Baphomet worshipers, people who believe in the all-seeing eye of Horus and pyramidology. They don't even believe those things. That's just their stupid, idiotic way of showing they reject Jesus, the one who actually taught to treat others the way you want to be treated, which is exactly what they don't want to do. So they're going to get treated exactly the way they've been treating others. Times 2. Because they love their evil and disgusting ways so much, right? They like it so much, let's give them a double serving, right? You like that filth, garbage, and horror so much? Here's a double portion just for you. We'll see how they like that. And of course, we know they won't. They'll go running as if it's something they never even thought about, when it's what they've been promoting their whole life. Liars, criminals, every single one of them is going to get what's coming. And they deserve it, because that's what they've been giving to others. Verse 29, if you have come to know that he is righteous, you must also know that each person who does what is righteous has been born from him. It's not hard to tell. It's not hard to tell when a tree is producing rotten fruit that you can't eat. You can't even pick up. It's so disgusting. It's not hard to tell. You don't have to be an ultimate judge in order to determine the quality of the fruit that you're about to eat. Because if you don't, you just might get sick and die. And it won't be very pleasant at the least. So we need to be careful. Look at the fruit. What are these people producing? What's the quality? What is it ultimately leading to? Is it leading to their own vanity and selfishness? Or is it leading to the praise of Jah and the promotion of belief in Jesus? That'll tell you what kind of fruit you're dealing with. So each person who does what is righteous has been born from him. Remember what Jesus said too, those who weren't with his group, to not stop them if they were casting out demons in his name. Because the works of the person were showing that he had faith in the things in connection with the Messiah. And so Jesus knew that. It's not our job to go out and try to stop everyone who's performing a good work or a powerful work and standing up for righteousness. They've been born from the Christ. whether it's through the law in their heart or through the law of the Christ that we proclaim. Either way, the fruit is the same: righteousness, praise of Jah, belief in Jesus, and treating others fairly without hypocrisy. That's all good fruit. All of that is worth eating. And you'll live a long time on that kind of diet. The kind of stuff the world promotes and feeds people, it's just garbage. Look at the movies. Look at the things they're promoting on TV and in the news, most of which is fake and all lies based on political agendas, homosexuality, the promotion of women over men, gender confusion. I mean, there's nothing of any value in any of these things. It's just the opposite of value. It's devalue. It's sodomy. It's abortion. It's witchcraft. These are the things you see all over the place. And what do they lead to? Death, pain, suffering. They never lead to anything good, and that's why the only people promoting them are the ones doing them. Because they're benefiting from the abuse they're giving to others until the tables turn. Like they always do. And that's why wicked people are dumb. Because they don't see what's coming straight at them. Oh well. So let's continue to do what we're called to do. Praise Jah, promote Jesus, and treat others the way we want to be treated. Leave these criminals and immoral people who want to praise Lucifer and all these gods of garbage. Let them go do whatever they want. We praise Jah. And that's not going to change. So I thank you all for joining me. Later today, I wrote it down here so I didn't forget. I'm going to do a live stream probably later this evening, around 7. I'll put it up after this day text. What is it going to be on? Okay. We're going to talk sodomy. In fact, that's what it's going to be called. Let's talk sodomy. History, practice, and pain. Terrible, I know. But it's being promoted in the world as an alternative way to have sex, and it's not. It's abusive and damaging in every way, and it blasphemes Jah. So we're going to take straight aim at it. Feel free to talk to me. I'm going to open it up to everybody, so we'll see if any currently practicing sodomites want to join us. I'll talk about the history of Sodom and Gomorrah, explain what sodomy is and why it's associated with Sodom. And I think it'll be an interesting show. So I'll keep it as clean as I can, of course, but we're going to obviously be talking about abusive sexual practices, the things that the world is promoting in such a horribly disgusting and destructive way, and that many people actually believe is a proper alternative to sex. It's unbelievable. So we'll talk about why that's not true, how it could not possibly be true, and why it's actually abuse. Let's talk sodomy. Later today, I'll put the live stream notice up. Tomorrow, open session number 5. And, of course, we'll talk about a variety of things. We'll see how the Let's Talk Sodomy show goes. Later today, around between 7 and 8. Very important because we need to warn people. We need to help them understand what sodomy is, why it's bad. And we have to stop permitting this horribly disgusting behavior from being tolerated in our society. People can do what they want, but we don't have to tolerate it. We certainly don't have to accept it. And there's no way I'm going to promote it. So, in any case, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. No, I don't. Well, there's a question. We'll talk about it later. It's a question about Noah and sodomy, which does not appear at all to be anywhere involved in that account. It just says that he viewed his nakedness. And so, nothing about sodomy there. But you can bring it up later today if you want to join the live stream. Anything you want to talk about that pertains to sodomy. I'm going to try to keep it productive and non-disgusting, of course, and make a point. I have a point in all this, to warn people about the dangers of sodomy. Hey, if they want to practice it, go ahead. You're just destroying your body and someone else's body and simulating sex in a way that you could get without destroying anybody's body. So, in any case, We're going to do it. I have to do it because nobody else will do it. I don't see anybody talking openly about the dangers of sodomy. And it's a real problem. We have a major problem because Hollywood and these other lying garbage outlets are confusing our children and others to think that sodomy is okay, that that's normal. But it's not normal. It's not okay, and it's abuse. And so we need to talk about it. It's a real problem. In any case, I thank you all for joining me for the day text. I hope you'll join me for the Let's Talk Sodomy show later. And that you'll join me tomorrow for open session 5 at 8:30. Probably be some carryover talk on the sodomy. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I have some other topics, relationships and things. So look for the notice. Join me later for the live stream, and then try to join me on Sunday, tomorrow, for the open session.